Hey everyone, thanks for joining me today. Today I want to talk about something that's been bugging me, I guess, a little bit and working on my head. Recently I had a conversation, let's call it a debate, maybe an argument, with the head of technology at a national company. And I wanted to talk to you guys about how that went and what I learned. Okay, so let me back up a little bit. When it comes to IT professionals, we're not all the same. Well, there's kind of two major groups, right? There's the infrastructure network systems guys, and then there's the software development guys. And there is stuff that sort of happens in the middle, but not worth mentioning, right? What I'm trying to get to is that we have different skill sets and we have different goals and we have different achievements, and we generally do different things in an organization and within a team. Now, think about that when you're thinking about a role in an organization where you are the leader of both of these groups, right? How do you effectively become a leader where the diversity of the skill sets in your reports are so huge that you could not potentially be good at all of them? All right, just keep that in mind while I tell you the story. So recently, I met with the head of an IT organization, national organization, actually just the national arm of an international organization. And they had asked me to come in because basically they needed, at least what I thought was, they needed professionalization of their software team. This person, this head of IT, had done some amazing things with the systems and networks, and you know, full kudos to that, because the stuff that I saw was really cool. But at the same time, had no clue when it came to things like software development, understanding business processes, business analysis, things like that. So my take on this was that they brought me in to professionalize that group, to help them understand that this is the way a professional software team would work and engage with their user group. And I knew that the leader didn't have this example, so I kind of thought that it would be a complementary skill set, except with the coach coming in. I was wrong. Okay, I came in and I sat down in classroom style and got lectured at for a while, and then got told to sort of, I started giving in my input, and I when going through the things that I think we needed to look at. And if you guys have worked with me before, and for those who haven't, I take a very soft approach when it comes to it, soft solutions. I'm not a a hard ass when it comes to these sort of things. I try to, I'm always respectful, but I also try not to be abrasive at all, because it just sort of doesn't make for a good coaching relationship. So I was sort of delivering my spiel, delivering my thoughts in the way that I usually deliver my thoughts, which is how I'm talking to you guys right now. And in return, I got a bit of disrespect, a lot of eye rolling and head shaking and all sorts of bad signs. So I kind of left it at that and went on my merry way. Now, that discussion got quite heated before I let it go. But that abrasiveness and that conflict sort of actually hurts quite a bit for me. I kind of tend to deal with that in a way that most people don't, and that is overanalyzing it and thinking about it for days or weeks on end. So here I am on the other side of that, kind of happy it's gone. But what I think I'm taking away from this, and look, I may be wrong, but I've seen it way too many times to not talk about it, is that there was ego in that, right? This person had done an amazing job with what they were good at, but had done a mediocre job with what they were bad at. And when I was helping them highlight the things that they could work on, they kind of went, well, wait a minute, how dare you? And that kind of, see, the thing is this, I very rarely, one of the reasons why I've started Soft Solutions is because I feel like sometimes I get a little bit too engaged with an organization. I'm a bit of a loyalist, but I take it a little bit too far, if you will, right? Think patriotism, but for an organization. And so I thought, well, okay, if I'm going to be able to handle my emotions, I'm going to have to start my own thing and just pour into that. So here I was working for this client, and really I'd taken on the persona of an employee and taken on this this loyalty that I really thought that these guys could do some amazing things. They're a cool company. They have some amazing people in them, and I thought, man, we could really make some huge change here, right? And like I said, I just said it. I called us we. There was no me and them. There was just we, right? Anyway, so I thought I was helping everyone out. So when I get into that mode, I don't care about people's egos. I don't care about the politics. I don't care about worrying people about things that are not, that are superficial. I get in and I want to help make things better. Pretty much that simple. And I thought I was doing that. And in return, I got negativity. So I stopped and I left, and I left it at that, to be honest. But I think that ego, if we can just get rid of that ego somehow as human beings, especially in a place where you kind of have to wear a suit of armor to go to work, right? In some of these huge organizations, even in smaller ones, anything that's got a corporate sort of flip to it, you are in warrior mode. But the problem with warrior mode, guys, is that when you go home, you're back at mum mode, or you're back in brother mode, or you're back in cat lover mode, or you're back in foodie mode, right? The thing is this, that's the same person, and it shouldn't change, and you really shouldn't have to change when you're at work. So stop doing it, especially if you're a leader, because you're not going to get followed, right? If you're a leader worth following, you're a leader who's the same person, and you have congruency between who you are at work, who you are at home, and anything in between, right? Who you are at the coffee shop in between those two places. Ooh, sorry about that. So guys, I guess what I'm getting at is this. Try to sort of walk and talk your own truth, right? And people aren't going to love that. People are going to hate it actually sometimes. And people aren't going to understand it most of the time because they don't get it. But at least you're now living your own self, and you're at peace in your own heart, and you end up becoming a better leader, right? You show a bit of vulnerability, you show a bit of sensitivity, people sort of gravitate towards you, and you start getting organizational outcomes out of that, right? Leadership is all about being one with yourself. It's an internal thing, not an external thing. And once you get that, you start realizing that there's all these organizational outcomes, positive outcomes that come from that, which is why there's such a huge push from organizations on leaders, right? Because leadership is important. All right, guys, that's it for me today. Keep your egos in check. See you next week.